reviewed the top performing SaaS videos frame by frame to figure out the best transitions to use in SaaS video animations. And this is the tutorial for top 3 of those transitions. Transition number 1, match cut. I'm sure you've heard of match cuts before, but how to actually use them in SaaS videos is what matters. If you look closely at these examples, you'll notice that match cuts are used constantly. To create this transition, first, let's understand the principle. A match cut is a transition where one object stays visually consistent while everything around it changes. For example, here in this video, the main box shape is consistent and fixed while everything else is changing around it. Doesn't matter if that object is a button, a card, an icon, or any other UI element. Let's go through it step by step. At its most basic level, the animation looks something like this. Very simple, but let's add a dynamic background. Then we should stylize the UI and the object, and for fun, we can even animate the object before the transition. Now we have a very smooth match cut transition. Now here's a simple trick that instantly improves the transition, which is to add a subtle zoom right at the moment of the cut. To do that, just create a null object above all your layers. Then parent your fixed object to that null layer. In the timeline, go to a few frames before the cut, create a scale keyframe on the null layer. Then move up the timeline and create another scale keyframe after the transition. At this point, either zoom in slightly or zoom out slightly. For example, if I set the scale to 115%, the camera zooms in just a little bit. But the most important part isn't the scale animation itself, it's the speed graph. The speed graph should look something like this. This way, the speed of the movement reaches its peak exactly at the transition point. By now, we have something like this. A simple and elegant match cut that looks incredibly clean when paired with good UI design and subtle motion. Now let's move on to the second transition. Transition number 2, I call this one UI Morph Transition. You'll see it all over SaaS videos because it's smooth, elegant, and very easy on the eyes. The basic idea is simple. When we have a shape like this, and we want it to transition into another shape that's taller and slightly narrower. If you're new to After Effects, your first instinct might be to simply morph one shape into the other. Just like I'm doing here. And technically that works, but it usually doesn't feel very smooth. Instead, we're going to do something else. We have 2 shape layer, and we want to transition one to another. They are cut at the moment of the transition just like this. Go into your first shape layer and open Contents, Rectangle 1, Rectangle Path 1, create a keyframe for size, and turn off Constrain Proportions. This allows us to scale the shape independently on the X and Y axis without affecting the corner radius. Now move to the exact frame where the transition will happen, and increase the size slightly, around 10 to 20%, not too much. This keyframe should be placed on the final frame of the first shape layer. Now at that exact position, create a scale keyframe for the second shape, then move forward a few frames and create another scale keyframe. Now go back to the first keyframe and reduce the scale slightly in the same dimension you increased on the previous shape. Again, only around 10% to 20%. Now let's look at the most important part, the speed graphs. Right now, your graphs probably look something like this. Change them so the highest speed occurs exactly at the transition point. Just like this. Once you do that, you'll end up with a very smooth and professional looking transition like this. Now let's move on to the final transition. Transition number 3, I call this one the Mockup Transition. It's actually very simple. You have a moving UI animation like this, then suddenly that exact movement continues inside a device frame. It could be an iPhone, it could be a MacBook, it could be any custom device mockup. The important thing is that the motion continues seamlessly through the transition. The speed, direction, and timing all stay consistent. Luckily, I've already made a full tutorial showing how to create a 3D iPhone mockup directly inside After Effects without any plugins. So if you'd like to learn this transition, go watch that tutorial after this one.
Thanks for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me create more tutorials like this for you guys.